Hi everyone, Lisdalia here, aka the Queen of Hearts. Welcome to my channel, especially those of you who are new. You voted for it, you wanted it, so today we're reacting to X-Men 97. So when it comes to this animation series, I don't know what I know, which I know sounds really weird to say out loud, but when I was younger, I can't actually remember whether or not I watched the series myself or if my younger brother was watching it. And so all my memories of the show are because I sort of, took it all in via osmosis because it was in my peripheral and it was there in the room that I was in. And so that's how I know a lot of the stuff from the show. So when it comes to what's going to happen in this series, I don't know what I know. I don't know what I remember. It was a long time ago. I do know there's going to be a lot of nostalgia for me because it was like right in my teenage years. It was right like my younger brother and stuff, so I definitely will have a lot of nostalgia for this show. But there's going to be so many moments that are probably going to go right over my head because I'm not going to remember or understand the significance of these moments that we're seeing. So if that happens, and you're a fan, please do educate me in the comments without spoiling things, obviously. Because, yeah, I really want to be understanding the significance of all the things that they're going to do in the show. I really hope that this is done well. And, yeah, I really want to be learning and making sure I understand everything. So please do educate me because there's going to be a lot of things that'll just end up going right over my head. Like, I'll understand some things. I remember really enjoying the relationship between Rogue and Gambit. I really loved their connection and the struggles that they had. I remember loving that particular storyline. I remember finding the backstory to Storm's character really interesting. I don't remember a lot about it. And I think there were a few things that probably went over my head at the time because I didn't really sort of understand the deeper meaning behind some of the things. But I understood enough to understand sort of her challenges, we'll say. But in terms of other characters and things like that, I can't really remember a lot to do. I remember a lot about the Phoenix Saga. I remember bits and pieces of that. And we've obviously seen that done like twice now in the live action sequence. So I may be confusing things that I remember from the animated series with stuff that they did in the live action. Like that could all end up intertwined. But yeah, I do sort of have some vague memories of a few different things, but there's going to be a lot that I can't remember. But I'm really looking forward to checking this out, seeing where they go. I'm not typically a fan of animated stuff. Like, I don't really watch a lot of animes or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting to react to an animation. I'm excited to see sort of what they do, where they take things, because there's going to be stuff that they will be able to do in an animation setting that they could not do in a live action sequence. I mean, the CGI has come pretty far now, but there's going to be some things that they can really only do in an animation environment. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do, where they go, where they take things, what the storylines and the relationship. I'm excited for all of it. So yeah, I don't have any predictions about where things are going to go. I couldn't possibly predict. There's so many storylines and comics that they could be drawing from. There's so many characters that they could be adding. I've not read any of the comics. Most of my knowledge comes from vague memories of the animated series and the live action movies. So yeah, I'm heaps excited to dive on into it. But before we do, there's a few things that you guys can be doing that would really mean a lot to the channel here. like the video. It'll let me know that you want to be seeing more, animation reactions and more X-Men 97 reactions. Subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell. Make sure you select the all option so that way you don't miss out on any future videos. And for anybody who is interested in early access to the videos or to the full length reactions, I do offer that over on my Patreon. So this is a season release, so early access means you guys will get it up to a few weeks before it's released on YouTube, and the full-length reactions are all in a watch-along style format, so you will need your own copy in order to follow along. But the first episode of each new series is free to watch, so that means this episode will be free to check out, and if that is something that interests you, the link to the Patreon will be in the description below. So without any further ado, let's dive right into it. The first episode is called To Me, My X-Men, which sounds like it's going to be something that Professor Xavier says, I'm thinking. So that's kind of cool. Let's bring up the heart rate monitor. For anybody who is new to my channel, I use a heart rate monitor via my Apple Watch. That way you guys get to see what moments get my heart pumping. Let's bring up the show. Alrighty, first episode, brand new series. We're excited to dive in. For anybody who is watching via the Patreon, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the show, hope you enjoy the series, and I look forward to watching it along with you. Siri, quiet. Goodness gracious. Triggered Siri. So I look forward to watching it alongside with you. Please do, as I said, educate me in the comments. Chat about the series in the comments below in the Patreon. I really would love to read some of your comments and what you're thinking about the show. All right, let's get into it. Let's dive in. Episode 1. Pressing play in 3, 2, 1. Marvel animation. See, I remember that I remember this. I feel like this is right for it's the same in I don't remember him. I don't remember Morph. This feels exactly the same like it was. I don't remember Morph. I remember all the other ones. I don't remember Morph. To me, my X-Men. So I wonder how much they're going to be like... He's been killed? I don't remember. Okay. Okay. So, but then he may not actually have any. Okay. So he's a mutant. He's actually admitting it. Okay. Storms are coming. A sentinel blaster. Okay. It's very dramatic, Storm. So over dramatic. Dude, would he like soak up the bullets then? Here come the others. Okay, we've got Cyclops. I can't remember Bishop. I know I recognize him, but I can't remember what his deal was. I feel like there needs to be a better way to trigger his visor instead of having to touch it all the time. Like, what if you can't touch your visor? Ooh, that's a big hand. Like, obviously he's got fighting skills, but what if you can't think, like now? You can't touch it. Oh, there we go. Big bada boom. Her voice sounds a little different. I'm guessing that's Morph. She's like very pregnant. I didn't realize. I forgot that Cyclops' hair looks like the same shade as Jean Grey there. So is he meant to be a redhead? Because he was never portrayed as a redhead in the live action stuff. I don't know how many of these voices were the same from the previous scene. I feel like this. Right, okay. Thank you for the reminder. So, like, Cable? What's the difference then between bishop and cable? Educate me, please. Unless they say it in the show. Okay. So I like how they're putting in subtle info. The voice sounds so weird. Some of these... Who is that? Well, considering the conversation you're having, and you're doing it while on your treadmill, it doesn't look like you're putting in much priority, so I can understand he's a bit, like, annoyance. The voices seem a little off. Probably did. I can understand why she'd be like that. Like, I got a baby in the way. I don't want to be fighting for the rest of our lives. Oh, children. Oh, that was loud. So hairy. Your voice seems off. And the heart melts. You're in charge. Follow up. Um. I figured they'd be dancing. Why are they not dancing? She's gonna get all sad that they can't touch again. I like how they're like putting in the little bits in all the dialogue to like let people know, like either a little bit of backstory or the thing with certain somebody's powers, like that line there about the touch. So if you hadn't watched the live action stuff or whatever, like you can be learning and pick it up. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Bad guys. Somebody to fight. I mean, the kid's a bit of an idiot. Lovey-dovey eyes. You just destroyed the evidence. Like, you had it in your hand. Who knows what you could have done with it, and you just destroyed it in your hand. Interesting perspective. Okay. Rock-a-bye, baby. Music in the background is pretty. Creepy, but pretty. Master Mode. That makes me lol because I envision like mold as in like fungus mold. Not mold. Eh. Okay. Big explosion. Everybody's falling. Interesting. When did he like he can't fly? What is he doing? He's slowing his descent with the laser beam. That doesn't feel like it would work. I mean, obviously it does, but I don't feel like that would actually work. How did Remy get down? Nobody caught him, and he can't fly. He throws like explosive things. So how did he get down safely? Did Storm catch him, and I just missed it? Yes, you do. That's why you're there. You're there to catch him. That's going to involve fighting. The bit taken out is kind of creepy. Da 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 da. Da da. Corny one-liners. Heads up. Okay. So is his whole body like a shield? Group shot. Oh yeah, because she's like a super, like, strong mutant. That's right. I think there's like a few Omega level things. So I think she's one, and I think Jean's one. I think Xavier was meant to be one. I always find it interesting that like they don't leave craters when they fall back to Earth. So how? Oh, okay, that's cool. Using his interesting. Okay, that was a cool combo of powers there. I appreciate that. What made him stand out from the like? If he's meant to be the leader of the Sentinels, how was he meant to look different? Was there markings or something? Did I miss it? Interesting. All right. Potential love interest for Jubilee. Magneto. He left the school to Magneto. Interesting. The hair is fabulous. Oh, the same line used twice. In very different contexts. Nice. Oh, and now we're going to thing at the end to say all the different things. Do not go trigger the next episode, Disney. Oh, that's kind of cool. At some point, I will actually get to pay attention to all the different things. The voice of body, person, anyone. Alright, and now we have... it's just looking at the thing, so we don't have anything after that. Alright. So, Magneto has very fabulous hair. His hair looked amazing. Just gonna get that out of the way. I find some of the voice acting, I definitely kind of like, that sounds familiar and that feels very reminiscent of the original from what I'm remembering. I don't know how many of the original voice actors they have brought back for this, and how many are brand new. There are some, though, that just seem a little off, and I don't know if that's because I am not remembering what that particular character used to sound like, or if it just the cadence or something about it just isn't really hitting right. So I'm mainly thinking Rogue. I kind of struggled a little bit with her. I do remember her having like the accent that she has, but there's just something about the voice that isn't quite hitting right for me, and I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but it's just is a little bit off. And Gambit, he's definitely better comparatively. Like he fits better, but there's also something just a little off with his character. Um, but I can't. Once again, I can't quite put my finger on why it's just a little off. Certainly much better than the Rogue one. Rogue definitely feels like a not a bad fit, but it just doesn't fit in my brain. Um, so I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. Maybe if it's like different voice actors, or if there's something. If you know how many of the original voice actors they have brought back, or if they're all new voice actors, please let me know. I would really love to work out like who am I, is this what they always sounded like, or am I just misremembering things? um I'm finding the storyline is interesting. It was very sort of enclosed and stuff. I don't feel um yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The beating of some of the things could be a little bit better. There were certain moments where it was sort of like paused in a certain way, or there'll be a line and then there's like a slight pause before they move on. I don't know if that's a result of like just animation in general. As I said, I don't really tend to do a lot of animation, or if that is just like the style that they were going for, or I'm not quite sure. But yeah, some of that was just, it wasn't bad, but I could definitely do a little bit of tweaking when it comes to things like that. That I don't think the pauses were all that necessary. Um, the relationships and stuff. I remember the relationship between Rogue and Gambit. I don't know. I remember them being. I don't know. Was it more affectionate, or I don't know. There was just something a little off about their relationship with each other and their interactions with each other in this episode. And I don't, as I said, I don't know how much of this is just me misremembering things, or if it was. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing the like future episodes and stuff to sort of try to wrap my head around what what I'm remembering and what I'm not remembering and how they are, and yeah, it's all kind of muddled together for me. Um, Reacting to animations is and watching animations is a very new thing for me. I don't really do a lot of this sort of stuff, so it's probably going to take a little bit of getting used to as well to sort of watching things in this medium. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for this series. I'm wondering if the fact that Magneto is here, if that means that Jean and Scott are going to stay at least for a little bit longer to, keep their eye on him. Neither one of them are going to feel like they are able to leave. It is certainly not surprising that Xavier has left the school to Magneto. I can see him doing that, based on my recollections from the X-Men in general and the universe in general. But I am surprised. Like, I can believe it and I can understand it, and logically it makes sense, but I'm also quite surprised because, like, the opening sequence, the opening video, it showed, them clashing with each other, and it showed Magneto being the bad guy used in the, the training room and everything. So to leave the school and everything to him, it just, like, I know they're friends and stuff, it just seems quite surprising. I would have, like, thought he would have left it to either Scott or probably Storm, maybe one of the two of them. But yeah, the fact that he gave it to Magneto is both not surprising and surprising at the same time. Yeah, that's all. That's all I got for you guys. That's all I've got to say about this one. It was enjoyable. It was fine. It wasn't great. There were certainly a few things that was like didn't quite sit right with me, but as I said, that could be because it's an animation and I'm not usually, an animation person. But all in all, it was fine. It was fine. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you're not already, and make sure to hit that notification bell and click the all button so that way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Remember, if you want to be getting early access to these reactions, I offer them over on my Patreon, and I also have full-length reactions over there. The description is in the link below. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you enjoy watching the rest of the series with me over the upcoming weeks. Much love to you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.